morning, good afternoon and good evening everyone. My name is Liam, the coach of the West Shan United, and welcome to week 2 of the Pokemon Premier League. Last week we got the 1-0 victory. We started our season off with a victory. No matter what kind of hacks happened, it's happened now. The victory is in our pocket. We are 1-0 to start the season and it is a good feeling. This week it is week 2 and I have never I've never won my first 2 weeks of a draft league season ever. So this could be, if I win this, it'll be the first time I've ever won my first 2 weeks, which is pretty crazy. And that's what I really want. I really want that. Before I start as well, just another reminder, if you want to buy some West Shan United merchandise with the team logo on it, the team logo is on the thumbnail. It's the one with the chandelier, spoilers. The link to the PPL shop is in the description below. That'd be awesome if you bought something and showed your support for the team. Speaking of teams, let's go over Richie's team, aka the coach of Livwurmple FC. Richie's team includes Tapu Bulu, Manaphy, which is his anything Z user. Just to remind you, that means it can use any Z move it wants. Registeel, Goodra as an attacking move only Z user. Donphan, Rotom Heat, Togetic, Tornadus, T as a anything attacking Z user. And Miss Magius. Pretty cool team, pretty good team, utilising the Bulu there, especially with the grassy terrain, because then Registeel is not taking as much from Earthquake, Rotom Heat is not taking as much from any ground moves if anyone has like Terra Volt or Mold Breaker or anything like that, which is really cool. It's just a nice team to work with grassy terrain, and he's kind of done well with that. But me and my friend Djar did put together a team to face him. Shout out to Djar, by the way. He helps me with all of my team builders and he is a great help in these battles. So shout out to him. And let's go over the team that is going to vanquish the Richie, because I'm confident. So first up we have Weavile. Magnum makes his second appearance of the season with Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Low Kick and Sword Dance. He has 4 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, 4 special defense and 228 speed. That is enough to outspeed a positive natured Tornadus Therian form. So Weavile does not need any more speed than that. It's going to outspeed everything that isn't Scarfed pretty much. I originally had Ice Shard on the Weavile instead of Low Kick, but his team does not have much priority. I'm pretty sure the only priority he has on his team is the Ice Shard from Donphan, which isn't going to be doing much to us even if he's Adamant Choice banned. So I took off the Ice Shard, not really needing the priority. It would have been nice in case his Tornadus was Scarfed, but then I would have been walled by the Registeel if he was Fizz Def and I already clicked Knockoff once on him. So if he had no item, then Knockoff would be doing nothing and I wouldn't be able to hit him with anything. So which is why I put the Low Kick on instead of Ice Shard. I do lose that priority, but it is nicer to not just be walled by Registeel. This is also a pretty good answer to Goodra, obviously because of the Ice move. It also does pretty good damage against anything with Knockoff, especially if he brings that Togetic. I can knock off the Eviolite. It's not going to do too much to Bulu, but knocking off a Bulu item would be nice. Weavile was just a nice bring this week. It was just a nice bring this week. So, next member of the team is Blair, our Gourgeist, in its super form again, the biggest form, meaning it gets the highest defense stat possible, with Will-O-Wisp, Leech Seed, Fire Blast and Synthesis. It has 252 HP, 252 defense and 4 special defense. Originally, I had Seed Bomb on instead of Leech Seed, but Seed Bomb was only really hitting Donphan and Manaphy for super effective damage. And outside of Tapu Bulu, which wouldn't really switch in on Gourgeist anyway, because it doesn't have much to hit Gourgeist. Yes, it can go for a Horn Leech or whatever moves Tapu Bulu can go for, but I'm pretty fat. And Tapu Bulu, even choice banded, I'm pretty sure I resist most of its physical moves. And the ones that I don't resist probably wouldn't hit me too hard. And then I could fire back with a Fire Blast or even burn it first and Synthesis off the damage. Leech Seed was just nice against the rest of his team. He didn't really have a switch in for Leech Seed. Synthesis, Leech Seed combo is always good. And I have the Yachi Berry on there for if he has Ice Beam on his Manaphy pretty much. That is pretty much the sole reason of the Yachi Berry on the Gourgeist there. So Gourgeist is pretty key. Pretty key this one, because it can wall out the Donphan. It does pretty good against the Bulu. It does pretty good against the Registeel. It does pretty good against a lot of his team, to be honest. And I only really need Fire Blast. I didn't really need Grass Stab or Ghost Stab. So, next up on the team, we have our Starmie. Starmie makes her second appearance of the season with Scald, Thunderbolt, Recover and Rapid Spin. This week with Natural Cure instead of Analytic, and the Electrium Z instead of the Icium Z from last week. Starmie has 124 HP, 204 defense and 180 speed. That is enough to outspeed a positive-natured Mismagius. This Starmie I had so much trouble with, because originally this was Aromatisse. Spoilers, I didn't bring Aromatisse this week, sorry to ruin that. But I didn't bring Aromatisse this week. Originally this was Aromatisse, but I wanted to bring Rapid Spin because I wanted to keep the rocks away from my side of the field, because I had Weavile and one other Pokemon, which you'll see later on. So originally I just put on a max special attack, max speed, pretty much, Starmie. But then I realised that most of his physical hitters, except for Bulu, can't really hit Starmie, except with Knockoff. And then if I put an Electrium Z on me, Knockoff isn't doing too much because it can't knock off my item and it's like I have none of it. Plus, most of the damage I can do, I can recover off. I can bring in Starmie on Donphan near enough every time, assuming he's just a defensive variant, which most Donphans are. And I can just Rapid Spin away, and every time he's pretty much forced to switch out. Even if he brings in this Magius, I outspeed and can hit it with a Scald, and it's probably still going to do pretty good damage unless he is Spadef invested Mismagius or AV Mismagius or something like that. So Starmie was a pretty good pickup this week, especially defensive Starmies. I had pretty high hopes for it. Next up we have Ryan Dunn, the Heatran, with Flash Fire and Pasho Berry this week. For those of you who don't know what Pasho Berry does, it reduces super effective water moves. And he has the Stealth Rock, Lava Plume, Toxic and Roar. 236 HP, 236 special defense and 36 speed. That is enough to outspeed an uninvested Goodra, whilst making sure that I do not outspeed a Rotom Heat. So he cannot get slow Volt Switch off on me. So he can't come in. He just can't take the fire move and then Volt Switch out kind of thing. I wanted his Rotom Heat to be faster, or Djar had the better idea of making sure that his Rotom was faster than my Heatran, so that it can't get a slow Volt Switch off on me. But this Heatran is good for rocks, because rocks are quite nice against him. It forces him to spin at some point, and I can bring in Gorgeist if he has to spin, which is pretty good. Takes down the Tornadus, takes down the Rotom Heat, puts nice damage on anything that really wants to come in apart from Registeel, and breaks any potential sashes. Obviously, Lava Plume for potential burns. He has resist to Lava Plume, but nothing on his team really wants to get burned and take residual damage. He can obviously bring in that Rotom Heat, but still, Lava Plume's just probably the better fire move to run this week. I didn't really want to run Magma Storm and trap things, or Fire Blast and miss, or Magma Storm and miss. Toxic is there for if I manage to catch a Manaphy or something on the switch in, and Roar is there in case he brings Z Rain Dance Manaphy, which can run through my whole team. So I could Roar it, if he goes for the Z Rain Dance, I would stay in, I could Roar it out and it'd waste his Z move, because Z Rain Dance, for those of you who don't know, not only puts up the rain, but gives Manaphy +1 speed, so it's like having a Choice Scarf without being Choice Scarfed. That's why I have the Roar, and I also have the Pashu Berry in case he just wants to go for the water move and I can Roar him out anyway. I thought Pashu Berry Roar was just a nice Heatran set to have for dealing with Manaphy, and Heatran is just a nice Pokemon in general, as it takes on the Registeel quite nice, unless he has Earthquake, and if he has Earthquake he has to be sort of invested to take me down. It's also nice for the Rotom Heat, again he has to run HP Ground potentially, but then he can't run HP Ice in case I bring the Salamence. And it's just a nice Pokemon to bring this week. Also does pretty good against Togetic. Again, has to run HP Ground, but can't run well, it wouldn't run HP, has to run Dazzling Gleam, but you get what I mean. Togetic's not that strong anyway. Next up on the team, we have Jerry, the Electivire, making his first appearance of the season with Motor Drive, Choice Scarf, Wild Charge, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and Rock Slide. He has, 4 HP, 252 attack, and 252 speed, and is an Adamant Nature. Electivire, yeah. If Donphan goes down, Electivire has a really fun time against his team. Because I can Wild Charge a lot of stuff and that will hurt a lot of stuff. And the things that it doesn't hurt too much, like Registeel and Goodra, I can run Ice Punch and Fire Punch for. Rock Slide is just kind of there to fill a move slot. It's to hit potential Rotom Heat as well. When I was doing test battles with this Electivire, it actually got 4 flinches in a row with Rock Slide. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, Jerry was a good bring this week. Again, Choice Scarf was nice. I didn't want to bring Z Electric Terrain this week, so I didn't want to waste a turn getting the Z Electric Terrain, so you can just bring straight into Donphan, and then I'd pretty much have to switch out. But yeah, I have high hopes for Electivire. It does really well against Richie's team. And last but not least, we have Tommy, our Salamence making his first appearance as well. Tommy the Green Power Ranger with Outrage, Fly, Fire Fang and Dragon Dance with Intimidate and the Flynium Z. Yes, I'm bringing 2 Z crystals because I can't decide which one I want to click. Electrium Z is there if Manaphy is low enough so Starmie can get a kill on it after taking a hit if he doesn't have Energy Ball. Flynium Z is there for everything else to potentially 2-hit KO everything except for Registeel. Dragon Dance, because I can set up on the potential Registeel if he doesn't have Ice Punch, but if he does have Ice Punch, then he can't have Earthquake as well, because I doubt he's going to have Iron Head, Ice Punch, Earthquake. Not unless he's like running some AV Registeel. Which he can potentially he can run anything he wants, but that's just what I'm thinking. I can also Dragon Dance up on the Togetic. Togetic's not going to be too strong, even if he's 252 modest. I can definitely take a, whatever it's called, Dazzling Gleam, and if he's 252 modest, then a Flynium Z +1 should kill him. I can also Dragon Dance up on the potential Tapu Bulu, maybe, if he's Choice Banded into something like Horn Leech. So there's a few options there to Dragon Dance up. And I was also toying with the idea of going for Intimidate or Moxie, but I went for Intimidate in the end for if he does bring the Tapu Bulu, or if he has Donphan with Ice Shard or something like that. I can bring it in, get the Intimidate, he's forced to switch out, and then I get a free Dragon Dance up. Yes, the Moxie sweep sounds nice, but I don't know, I just feel like Intimidate will give me the chance to set up a bit more. Also, sorry, didn't mention, Salamence is jolly natured, 100 max speed, so it can speed tie with Manaphy. I can't outspeed Manaphy unless I run a Choice Scarf on it, which I didn't want to. So that's the team. It's going to be Richie. I hope that made sense to everyone, and for the Power Rankings people who are watching this video, shout out to you guys, by the way. You guys do great work, and you recap people too. I'm going to throw it over to Battle Liam now, Battle Commentator Liam, and we shall get this battle started. So over to you, Battle Commentator Liam! Okay, thank you, Commentator Team Prep Liam. Battle Liam here, and here we are with the battle. So, as you can see, Richie is bringing the Donphan, the Registeel, the Goodra, the Manaphy, the Togetic, and the Mismagius. So no Tapu Bulu, which was pretty cool, and no Tornadus. Tornadus was probably what I was most scared of. Tapu Bulu I felt like I can handle. Tornadus, depending what it ran, if it ran like Hurricane, HP Ground, Knockoff, or even if it ran like Hurricane, HP Ice, Superpower Knockoff, it could probably run through the whole team, near enough. It could destroy the whole team. So, really glad not to see that Tornadus. But Togetic is something I didn't really expect, and the Goodra I didn't think he'd bring. Goodra does do well against some members of my team, but with Weavile and Salamence, I didn't really expect him to bring it. But he did. This is the team we are facing. We are facing Richie, my good friend. I like him a lot, but I have to win. So, let us kick ahead with the battle, eventually. And there we go. Yeah, I did a thing. So we are going to battle Richie, the Bumblebee, versus the Horse. We are challenged by Richie. Also, my screen regions aren't messed up, it's just so you guys don't see the play bar at the bottom. So he starts off with Donphan, I start off with my Starmie. Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to stop it there for a sec because the screen region was messed up. You couldn't even see my Pokemon's HP. So he started off with Donphan, I started with Starmie. Pretty much perfect start. I expected him to start with Donphan or Registeel or just something like that. So I knew Starmie had a good matchup to start off with. So let's just kick straight off into the battle. He's going to withdraw, fearing the Scald. I do click Scald because it's turn 1. I have no reason not to. I didn't want to over-predict or anything, so I do just click the Scald. He brings in the Goodra, and that is going to do nothing because it's a goddamn Goodra. Here is quite a pivotal moment. So, Goodra's in against Starmie. I could have switched out into potentially Heatran, or I could have switched out into Gourgeist, or I could have switched out into many things, but I was fairly confident that with my HP investment, that Starmie could take absolutely anything this Goodra wanted to do. Absolutely anything. I was pretty sure I could take any one hit, and I knew I would outspeed. So for this turn, bear in mind, I knew I could take any one hit this Goodra wanted to do, and because it's a Goodra, it can do so many different things. It can be defensive, it can be specially defensive, it can be AV, it can be special attacking, so I just wanted to know exactly what this Goodra could do, and I knew Starmie could take one hit and then outspeed the next turn and recover should I need to. So that's why I make this turn and just go for the Scald, get some damage off and see what he wants to do. And lucky for me, I get the burn. So he's burned, and we know he's not leftovers already, and he's a physical Goodra. So it's absolutely perfect that I got that burn. So I eat up that Power Whip hit, which is fantastic. It does less than 50 HP. which means I can just go for another Scald. But I actually went for the Rapid Spin there. Now, two things here, as I let this turn play out, as I do get the Gooey drop. I'm pausing a lot because these first few turns of the battle matter. So, I went for Rapid Spin there. Two things. Number one, I misclicked. I meant to click Recover on that turn, but I had Rapid Spin and Recover right next to each other. They're the same colour. They both start with R. Oh well. I was meant to click Recover on that turn, so I did get the Gooey speed drop. But I do see he is Gooey and not Sap Sipper, so that means my Gourgeist is perfectly free to just Leech Seed this thing and wall it to hell, especially now that it's burned. So, carrying on with the battle. He does go for another Power Whip. That's still not going to do too much unless he crits me, and he doesn't, so I can survive with 58 HP, and now I can click Recover for free, as the burn damage is really starting to tick and add up onto him. He knows that he can't really kill me, but he doesn't know how to recover yet. This turn I click Recover, puts me at really freaking high HP. As he clicks Power Whip again, he lands it again. He landed 3 Power Whips, which is pretty good, pretty decent. I know it's 85% chance, but landing 3 Power Whips is pretty good. More burn damage. Now he knows that I can just recover and stall him out, so he has to switch. He does pull the switch and goes out into Cool Hat, which is his Mismagius. Great nickname for Mismagius. As I just go for a Scald, because I predicted him to make the switch, and I wanted damage off on something that came in, and that does pretty good damage. Now I forgot that I had the Gooey drop, and in the team builder, I did say that I outsped Mismagius, so I thought, oh, I outsped Mismagius, I can just go for another Scald. But I forgot I had the Gooey drop, so I was at -1 speed, so he killed me off with Shadow Ball, which is awful, because Starmie done a lot in that battle, and now I can't spin away rocks, but now I get to bring in my Weavile, pretty much, and click Knock Off on anything, as he just lets the Mismagius go down, and it had the Focus Sash, you'll find out. So Starmie goes down, Mismagius goes down. He got the better of that exchange because Starmie was much more important to my team than Mismagius was probably to his. He does bring in Steel OK, which is his Registeel. I don't want to click the knockoff. I don't want to click the low kick here in case he just goes for the Iron Head. I still really need this Weavile to take on that Goodra to do big damage to it. And I just feel like I still need Weavile, especially when I've still got a Gourgeist to come in and take the hit. He does go for T-Wave though, so I'm really glad I didn't stay in with Weavile because you don't want Weavile being paralysed. Gourgeist is paralysed though, not too much of an issue. He does get this chance to set up his Stealth Rocks, and they're around for the whole match now because I can't, because Starmie is dead. So that is unfortunate. It's going to do big damage to Salamence and Weavile when they switch in. But I do get the Will-O-Wisp off onto Registeel, just in case he has that Ice Punch and Earthquake that I mentioned in Team Builder. So neither one would be killing my Heatran or Salamence respectively now. Also, chip damage on the Registeel is nice. He does switch out here and goes out into his Togetic as I go for the Leech Seed. Pretty much Leech Seeding anything I want because Bulu is not around. So he is seeded. I do get the health back, and well, I don't get any health back, but I do take quite a bit of health off him. Now, the way he brought in this Togetic, the way he brought in Togetic on my Gourgeist, because I'm already paralysed, so he can't Toxic me. I don't have Rocks up, so he's not trying to defog. So I instantly assume he is going to be a Nasty Plot Baton Pass set. The way he brought it in on my Gourgeist, because my Gourgeist is my Fizz Death Wall, I just instantly assume he is going to be a Nasty Plot Baton Pass set, because there's no reason for him to go into Togetic on my Gourgeist when I'm already paralysed and I don't have any hazards up other than to set up or sub or something. So I do make the switch here. I do take Gourgeist out and go into my Heatran, predicting him to go for the Nasty Plot Baton Pass set to try and pass into Manaphy or something. I do take the Rocks damage, and he does go for Nasty Plot, so I got that read completely correct. So he gets the +2, so he is the Nasty Plot Baton Pass set Togetic. I do have the Leech Seed on Togetic, which is nice, pretty much takes away the Rocks damage, but because I have so much HP investment, it doesn't quite bring me back up to full. He does go for the Baton Pass here, and because he goes for Baton Pass first, he knows I'm going for Roar, because there's no way that Togetic can outspeed Heatran. So he knew I was going for Roar. I clicked the Roar to try and roar out anything that came in, and luckily he goes into the Manaphy, which sucks, because now he has Manaphy in on my Heatran. I did plan for this with the Pasho Berry and Roar, but now he knows I have the Roar, so if he's Z Rain Dance, he's not going to click it, because he knows I can just roar him out. But that was a good play from Richie, realising that Togetic, there's no way Togetic should have outsped Heatran, so he just Baton passed into Donphan so I could roar him out into potentially Manaphy or just something else that could kill Heatran. So that was a good play by him there. Now I'm stuck in with Heatran, but this is why I have the Pasho Berry. So I stayed in to click Roar again as he goes for the Surf. He's going to land the Surf, obviously, and thanks to my Pasho Berry, that does pretty much nothing. And this is a modest 252 Manaphy, so that's pretty decent. I do Roar him out again, just in case he was Z-Rain Dance, you never know. This time he ends back up into Togetic. So here I am pretty much safe to set up my Stealth Rocks. There's nothing he can really do to me unless he's running HP Grounds, which I don't think he is if he's Nasty Plot Baton Pass. He's just going to go for the slow Baton Pass here though. So I do get Rocks up, but he gets some initiative as he goes back out into his Donphan. So I assume the Earthquake is coming here. The Earthquake is super duper obvious, or the Rapid Spin. Either way, I switch out into my Gourgeist because I can block the Rapid Spin, or I can take the Earthquake comfortably because I'm defensive AF pretty much, and Gourgeist is just lovely. We love Blair, she's great. Although I am paralysed, I do take some Rocks damage, and then I can get a Leech Seed off. I do get the Frisk and see that his Choice Band, which is very interesting, as he misses the Head Smash, which is convenient. That would have done a lot of damage. I'm not sure if it would have been a two-hit KO though, I haven't calced it. But he is forced to switch, or he goes out into Manaphy. And I go for the Leech Seed, and I get fully parried. So that sucks that I couldn't get a Leech Seed off on Manaphy. He goes for the Ice Beam. This is why I have my Yachi Berry to take the Manaphy hit. So I'm going to be living this Ice Beam nicely as I go for another Leech Seed, but I get fully parried again. So I've been fully parried twice in a row now. So once again, just to recap, I got a burn on my Scald on the Goodra. Unfortunate for him. He landed every Power Whip, which I can't complain about because, you know, he landed every Power Whip. It's 85% chance, it's not terrible. He missed the Head Smash, which is bad for him. But then I roared him out into Manaphy, which is a 1 in 6 chance. Or 1 in 5 chance, rather. So, and I just got fully parried twice. So I'd like to say it's balancing out the fact that I got like burns and hacks and blah blah blah. Because yes, his Goodra is useless now, but now my Heatran can also take nothing at all from Manaphy. So I'd like to think it's balancing out. And he can just click the Ice Beam again here and kill my Gourgeist because I don't have any switch-ins for Manaphy anymore. So it balanced out, I feel like. So down goes Gourgeist to Manaphy. And that puts us 4-5 behind. I do bring in my Electivire now though, as I can pretty much go for a Wild Charge on anything. He switches out Manaphy, but I do go for the Ice Punch here, predicting the Donphan to come in. But instead the Registeel comes in, as it takes some Rocks damage, and it's going to take the Ice Punch. I did predict Donphan there, but he goes into Registeel. Nice middle ground play for him. Does a nice bit of damage. I see that he has leftovers and burned, and with that I count that his Registeel was quite defensive AF. So even if he was Ice Punch or Earthquake, I know he wasn't going to kill me. So I could set up with Salamence on the Registeel. I do go out into my Heatran here though, because I don't think he has Earthquake if his T-Wave Stealth Rocks. I assume he's just going to have Iron Head. He might have the Earthquake, but I wasn't too scared of it. As Richie pulls a brilliant double and goes out into the Donphan. And now that my Gourgeist is down, I don't have a switch into this Donphan either, so I have to let my Heatran go down. I do get a Lava Plume off though, thanks to the speed investment I have, which does huge damage to Donphan. I don't get the burn on the Lava Plume, but he goes for Head Smash, lands it this time, and that's going to take out the Heatran. And that puts me at 3 versus 5. He does take a lot of recoil damage there. So I do go out into my Salamence now and think this is the time I'm going to kill off Donphan, and then I have to set up on whatever's left over. Like if he brings in Goodra, I kill it. If he brings in Manaphy, I have to try and kill it. As my thought process was I kill Donphan and then Electivire can just sweep up at the end pretty much. Electivire or Weavile can clean up at the end if Salamence doesn't get the sweep. So I took him out with the Fire Fang there that I had for the Registeel, and I didn't want to lock myself into Outrage or click my Fly yet. He does go out into the Togetic, and I get a Dragon Dance off. I set up the Dragon Dance in front of him because I know he can't kill me with one Dazzling Gleam from this range. It's impossible. He clicks Roost though, and he told me he clicked Roost that turn because he saw I wasn't Moxie. So he was fairly certain that he could just obviously take whatever hit I want and wall me out. I'm not sure if he expected me to be Dragon Dance, probably not if he went for the Roost. But I do set up another Dragon Dance again because I can't die from Dazzling Gleam range at this range. And I know if he's bold 252, I need to be +2 to kill him with the Flying EMZ. He does go for Dazzling Gleam. I do live as calced. And this time I go for my Flying EMZ Z Crystal, so I'm super glad that I had 2 Z Crystals. This is definitely going to kill. Like I said, I had to reach +2 attack onto my Salamence to kill the Togetic if he was 252 bold with Eviolite, which I think he was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I do get Supersonic Sky Strike off, which is amazing, and it kills Togetic from full to dead, which is lovely. Lovely jubbly. So if I was Moxie at this point, I just want to pause my video as he brings in the Registeel. So if I was Moxie at this point, remember I said at the start of the video I was debating whether to be Moxie or Intimidate. If I was Moxie at this point, I could have got a +1 off killing the Donphan. Then I would have got a +1 off setting up the Dragon Dance in front of the Togetic, because he wouldn't have been able to kill me with Dazzling Gleam. So that would have put me at +2. Dazzling Gleam would knock me down to whatever HP, but it definitely wasn't killing me. I would have killed him off with Flying EMZ, which would put me at +3, and at +3 I could have swept the rest of his team. So if I had brought Moxie, Salamence would have swept the rest of his team, pretty much. But he does bring in the Registeel here, does take some rocks damage. I do click the Fire Fang with my Salamence, because I can't bring it in anymore because of the rocks. If I was +3, I would have killed him there with Fire Fang, got to +4 and just swept the rest, and then just killed Goodra and Manaphy with Outrage, but unfortunately, he does take down my Salamence with Iron Heads though, and now I'm down to Electivire and Weavile. He doesn't have whatever it's called around. Whatever it's called. What's it called? Stupid Donphan. So I can click Wild Charge here for free, which is quite nicely. I do take some rocks damage, and I do just click the Wild Charge to take out the Registeel. In retrospect, I should have gone out to Weavile here to go for the low kick. Even if I got the Gooey drop on Goodra, I probably would have still outsped and knocked it out with knockoff. But I took out the Registeel. He does bring in the Goodra here. I don't want the Gooey drop on my Electivire, so I do switch out the Electivire on this turn to go out into Weavile, hoping I can live any one hit he wants to go for. He is burned. I am a Weavile and I do take rocks damage, but he is burned, so that's, you know, I should be able to live something. I do exert my pressure as a Weavile as he clicks the Draco, so he's a mixed Goodra, which is really fucking cool. Really cool. He does click the Draco, that's going to do huge damage, but Weavile lives on too, because Weavile is a lord. Weavile is a lord, and he takes the burn damage. That was a roll in Richie's favour. I will pause there. I will be completely upfront and honest so everyone can know that was a roll in Richie's favour. I think he had around a 60% chance to kill with that Draco Meteor, and if he did, he would have won. So I'm just saying that right now, for anyone or anything or anybody listening to this, to make anything fair, if Richie had killed me with that Draco Meteor, he absolutely would have won, and I'll explain why at the end of the video. But Weavile did survive, so I can go for the knockoff here, taking out the Goodra. I do get a Gooey drop, but that doesn't matter because I'm Life Orb, so I'm going to die anyway. So Goodra goes down to Weavile, which is nice. I knocked off his Archie Berry, so I'm very glad that I didn't bank on killing Goodra with an Ice move from Weavile. Plus he also had counter, so that would have been really funny. I do go into my Electivire though, as I'm Choice Scarfed. If he's Choice Scarfed or Wackanberry, then he pretty much beats me at this point. I take rocks damage, he takes rocks damage. I don't think the fact I took rocks damage shows that I was fast or anything. I don't think that's how it works anymore. But I do go for the Wild Charge. He's not Wackanberry, he's not Scarf, and I win with the 1-0 on Electivire. So I've won my first 2 matches of the season for the very first time. Now let me explain to you why I would have lost if Weavile didn't live. Because after the match, generally after PPL games, we send each other our teams so we can see each other's sets and piece together the matches piece by piece. And his Manaphy was near enough full speed. His Manaphy had enough speed to outspeed me pretty much. It had enough speed, yeah, because I had Choice Scarf on my Electivire, but if my Weavile had died against Goodra, then I would have had to bring Electivire back in. I don't want to use menu to turn on autoplay, thank you. Get off my video. I would have had to use Electivire to kill Goodra, which would have put me at -1 speed to negate my Choice Scarf. His Manaphy had enough speed to outspeed my Electivire, and he had the Water EMZ on his Manaphy, so he would have clicked Water EMZ Surf on my Electivire. That would have definitely killed me. I wouldn't have outsped because I would have been at -1, and he would have won. So I did get that final little piece of luck at the end that Weavile lived. So shout outs to Richie. That game again could have gone either way because Honestly, without me getting double barreled on Gorgeist, I could have set up a Leech Seed and potentially lived a bit longer. Without Goodra being burned, he could have done anything. Without this, that, the other, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, as my friend Richie said after the battle. It could have gone either way. There was so much that happened in this match once again that it could have just gone either way. But we do get the win. Good game to Richie. He's a good friend of mine. Check out his channel, because his side of the battle will be on there as well. Thank you guys for watching this video though. Your West Shan United team are 2-0 though at the start of the season. You best believe next week we're going to go for that 3 and keep the win streak going. Thank you guys for watching though. I love you all so much. Thank you for all your support on the videos and your support to the team. And I will see you all next Wednesday for week 3 where we take on Potato Jim and the Pine Hobie Ramblers spooky team. See you all then. Take care everyone. Bye bye.